Today's news. Today's news.
Versus Powell.
2.7 is now 3.1.
I haven't heard that from anybody.
Officer ambushed.
It's just a really sad tragedy.
Starvation in Gaza.
They are struggling with the lack of food.
Good morning, I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, for a second day, the Deputy Attorney General will question Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. And CBS's Nancy Cordes reports the president, who has fended off questions about the Epstein files, had a tense photo op with the man he has criticized relentlessly, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
A lot of very expensive work, there's no question about it.
President Trump and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell had only been together for a few minutes, touring the Fed's renovation before Trump confronted him over the cost.
It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Powell notably shook his head and challenged the president's numbers.
You just added in a third building, is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no, it's a building that's being built.
It was built 5 years ago.
Trump's real issue with Powell isn't about construction. It's the fact that the Fed hasn't lowered interest rates as fast as Trump wants them to.
His term comes up soon. I think he's going to do the right thing.
As they tussled, a very different scene was unfolding down in Tallahassee, Florida. The president's former personal attorney, Todd Blanche, now a top justice official, was interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell is the former girlfriend of the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. David Marcus is her lawyer.
He took a full day and asked a lot of questions, and Ms. Maxwell answered every single question.
Former Congressman George Santos reports to serve his 87-month sentence for wire fraud and identity theft today. The New York Republican was ousted from Congress in 2023. Now to Ohio, where there's mourning in a Cleveland suburb after the ambush attack on police officers eating lunch. One of them died yesterday. Here's CBS's Lilia Luciano.
Officers Philip Wagner and Peter Gale had just picked up pizza for lunch and were parked side by side along a dead-end road in Lorain, Ohio. According to police, the shooter was lying in wait.
To my understanding, there was one male who had a vehicle parked at the dead end. When the officers arrived, he opened fire.
Officer Wagner was struck multiple times. The 35-year-old later died. Gale was hit in the hand. Another officer, Brent Payne, responded to the shooting and was critically wounded. Investigators say the shooter, Michael Parker, was killed during the exchange of gunfire.
More than 100 million people are facing extreme heat conditions today, from the Midwest to the east. In the southeast, some thermometers could top 100 degrees. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
We've got record high temperatures being forecast in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, and in New York City as well. Could even see some records on up into New England.
CBS's Rob Marciano reports on dangerous high water in the southwest.
Flash floods again ravaging New Mexico, southeast of Albuquerque. Early in the day, U.S. Geological Survey showed the river flowing at a height of just over 2 feet. Then, it surged to nearly 13 feet in less than 20 minutes.
The U.S. Supreme Court has blocked a lower court ruling in a redistricting dispute in North Dakota that would gut a landmark federal civil rights law for millions. The justices indicated in an unsigned order that they're likely to take up a federal appeals court ruling. This would eliminate the most common path people and civil rights groups have used to sue under a key provision of the 60-year-old Voting Rights Act. Overseas, a French medical charity says a quarter of young children and pregnant and new mothers seen at its clinic in Gaza last week were malnourished. Kirk Pritchard is with the group called Worldwide Concern.
The majority of the cases of malnutrition are children under 5 years of age. Those are the most vulnerable. They're the most vulnerable to the consequences, increased disease, and the mortality also that goes with that.
France said yesterday it would formally recognize a Palestinian state. 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 57 degrees in Concord, California.